Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the midway plus about 25 yards into the fourth quarter at the Innovation in Agriculture and Energy Opportunity Zone Summit, Day 2, 2020, online. And we have clearly experienced great opportunities for such a robust dossier of subject matter experts from the Department of Energy, USDA, MBDA, and industry, National Science Foundation, our partners at AAAS. We can't thank everybody enough for this day and this opportunity to come together after some very intentional long days and weeks to put this all together. It is my delight to introduce all of you to Director of the Office of Economic Impact and Diversity, James E. Campos, the Honorable. James Campos was nominated by Donald J. Trump and confirmed by the U.S. Senate as the Director of the Office of Economic Impact and Diversity at the United States Department of Energy in April of 2018. As Director, Mr. Campos is tasked with he's tasked with ensuring that minorities and underserved communities are afforded an equal opportunity to fully participate in department programs. For Mr. Campos is also serves as the Department of Energy's Equal Opportunity Director and Chief Diversity Officer. Additionally, Director Campos is the department's designee on the White House's Opportunity Revitalization Council and the White House's Council on Eliminating Barriers to Affordable Housing Development and other White House interagency initiatives. Prior to joining the Department of Energy, Mr. Campos was the Senior Advisor on Economic Development and Strategic Planning, held for the President of Nevada State College. Over the span of his career, Director Campos held several Nevada gubernatorial appointments to include the Equal Rights Commission, the Governor's Workforce Investment Sector Councils on gaming, tourism, and entertainment, and on mining and minerals, the Governor's Office of Economic Development International Trade Council, the Taxi Cab Authority Commission, and the Commissioner of the Nevada Consumer Affairs Division. Also, Mr. Campos has been a small business owner and an adjunct business professor. Mr. Campos holds a Bachelor's of Arts and a Master's of Science degree from the University of Maryland and a Master's of Business Administration from the University of Glasgow in Scotland. I bring to you a gentleman who seems to, with all those accomplishments in life, not sleep, but I know him as one who is passionate, convicted, and fully committed to the minority business community. And thankfully, the Hispanic and minority serving and HBCU community. As the director, I bring you the Honorable James E. Campos. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We look forward to your keynote.
Absolutely. And good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be with you at the inaugural Innovation in Agriculture and Energy Opportunity Zone Summit. Now, please take a moment to give yourselves a round of virtual applause. As mentioned, my name is James Campos, and I'm the Director of the Department of Energy's Office of Economic Impact and Diversity, also known as we call it ED. I'd like to thank you so much for having me join you on this very special occasion. Now, in particular, I want to thank the organizers of this event, including friends like Heath Moore and Jose Nino and others. I also want to acknowledge the many partners and presenters that will be participating and have already participating in this great event, including the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Hispanics and Energy, and many more. And specifically, I'd like to include the Minority Business Development Agency, with whom we have recently signed an MOU with Director David Bird. Before I begin my remarks, allow me to congratulate you for developing this truly unique gathering that focuses on the intersection of minority education and entrepreneurship, business and government, agriculture, energy, innovation, cultivation, and much, much more. And yes, you demonstrate real resilience and dedication in your ability to move forward despite this uniquely challenging times our nation has faced this year during the pandemic. It is a true testament to your devotion to the community, your endeavor to serve, and your vision for the future. Now, at the Department of Energy, we too are focused on the future. The mission of the Energy Department is to ensure America's security and prosperity by addressing its energy, environmental, and nuclear challenges through transformative science and technology solutions. And this includes a surprisingly broad range of areas, from coal mines to pipelines, from wind turbines to warp drives, from the incredibly small in quantum science research to the infinitely large mysteries of the universe, including dark energy. Also, at the DOE, we are tasked with maintaining a safe, secure, effective nuclear deterrent, reducing the threat of nuclear proliferation, and carrying out the environmental cleanup from the Cold War nuclear mission. Now, as a science agency, the Energy Department plays an important role in this innovation economy. The department, the transformative growth of basic and applied scientific research, the discovery and development of new clean energy technologies, and prioritizes scientific innovation as a cornerstone of U.S. economic prosperity. Through initiatives like the Loan Guarantee Program and the Advanced Research Projects Agency, Energy, the department funds cutting-edge research and development of innovative clean energy technologies. The department also encourages collaboration and cooperation between industry, academia, and government to create a vibrant scientific ecosystem. In addition, our 17 national laboratories are a system of intellectual assets unique among the world's scientific institutions and serve as regional engines of economic growth for states and communities across the country. These labs tackle the critical scientific challenge of our time, from combating climate change to discovering the origins of our universe, and possess unique instruments and facilities, now many of which are found nowhere else in the world. They address large-scale, complex research and development challenges with a multidisciplinary approach that places an emphasis on translating basic science to innovation. Some of the discoveries at these labs have spawned industries, saved countless lives, generated new products, fired the imagination, and helped to reveal the secrets of the vast universe. Here are just a few examples. Now, do you like the internet? Well, the National Lab scientists seeking to share particle physics information were the first to install a web server in North America, kickstarting the development of the World Wide Web as we know it today. If you ever use Google Maps, for instance, you'll be impressed to learn that credit for producing 3D maps of the sky and 400 million celestial objects goes to our National Lab scientists, who also developed a camera that mapped the entire surface of the moon. This is not a TV sitcom, but National Lab accomplishments. NASA satellite, for instance, revealed the birth of galaxies in the ethos of the Big Bang, dark energy, the mysterious something that makes up 3/4 of the universe and causes it to expand at accelerating rates, also was discovered by National Labs. We made wind power mainstream, increasing wind turbine efficiency with high-efficiency airfoils that has reduced the cost of wind power by more than 80% over the last 30 years. Now deployed in wind farms nationwide, these turbines owe their existence to our National Labs research. From the first fusion test reactor to briefly produce power at the megawatt scale, and the world's largest and most energetic laser, creating extreme conditions mimicking the Big Bang, the interiors of planets and stars, and thermonuclear weapons, to the international experiment to generate industrial levels of fusion energy from burning plasmas. Fusion science applications are advancing because, yes, once again, our national labs, which are national treasures to us all. The national labs operate some of the most significant high-performance computing resources available, including 32 of the 500 fastest supercomputers in the world. These systems, working at quadrillions of operations per second, model and stimulate complex dynamic systems, such as the nuclear deterrent, that would be too expensive, impractical, or impossible to physically demonstrate alone. Supercomputers are changing the way scientists explore the evolution of our universe, climate change, biological systems, weather forecasting, and even renewable energy. Now, the last one I'll mention should be of particular interest to you. Our national lab research jumpstarted the shale gas revolution by pointing to the way the key technologies and methodologies for cost-efficient extraction, an estimated $220 million in research and development expenditures on unconventional gas, R&D, from 1976 to 1992 have resulted in an estimated $100 billion in annual economic activity from shale gas production alone. There are just a few examples of the countless innovations that have come from our national lab, and the zeal for uncovering and leveraging new technologies continues at the Department of Energy. Now, for last week, President Trump released the National Strategy for Critical and Emerging Technologies, which outlines how the United States will promote and protect our competitive edge in wide-ranging technologies that are critical to U.S. national security and our economic advantage. This strategy lays the foundation for the United States to continue to turn ideas into innovations, transform discoveries into successful commercial products and companies, and protect and enhance the American way of life for many years to come. As Energy Secretary Dan Brouillette said recently, the intersection of science and security is one of the most important issues of our time, which is why President Trump's National Strategy for Critical and Emerging Technologies is vital to our long-term economic and national security. The Trump administration is taking a whole-of-government approach to protect American technology and intellectual property as our industries of the future become more integrated in our daily lives. At the DOE, we have taken actions to tighten compliance with respect to intellectual science and technology cooperation across the National Laboratory Research Complex, which is vast. We will continue to promote our national innovation base while protecting our technological advantage from adversaries. That is critical. Critical to emerging technologies include fields like artificial intelligence, energy quantum information science, communications and networking technologies, semiconductors, and space technologies. Now, under President Trump, the U.S. has made historic progress on strengthening our leadership in technologies of the future. The U.S. will promote this innovative base of American leadership in science and technology through research and development investment, workforce development, and public-private partnerships. As our competitors and adversaries mobilize vast resources in these fields, American dominance in science and technology is more important than ever. The United States will not turn a blind eye to the tactics of countries like the People's Republic of China and Russia, which steal technology, coerce companies into handling over intellectual property, undercut free and fair markets, and divert emerging civilian technologies to build up their militaries. This administration continues to defend our industry, address unfair practices, and create a level playing field for the American workforce. I'll give you an example. In July, the DOE released a report entitled The Appalachian Energy and Petrochemical Renaissance. The report key findings is that the Appalachia's economic growth potential is extremely high, even in the face of COVID-19 pandemic economic setback, because of its abundant energy resources. Appalachia is also critical to advancing America's future prosperity and energy security, because it is now the nation's top producing region of natural gas and a major producer of coal and natural gas liquids. Now, even before COVID-19, Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky were on track to enjoy a manufacturing revival. This is because of Appalachia's rich resources of low-cost natural gas, its strong, dedicated workforce, the increased production of equipment directly related to energy production, and leading research and development, automation, and advanced manufacturing. One of these areas with great promise is the petrochemical field. The American Chemistry Council estimates that 100,000 jobs could be created in the petrochemical industry in Appalachia alone. We are about to witness the first world-scale petrochemical cracker in Appalachia come online. A second is already planned, the construction of which will require 6,000 to 8,500 union construction workers to complete this project. The report also makes clear that the Appalachian coal has an important place in America's energy and manufacturing future for decades to come. This is a resilient culture in the Appalachian region, full of Americans ready to work and ready to contribute to the great American economic comeback. The government must foster an environment that will allow industry in this great American rural area to prosper. Now, in closing, I implore you to remain engaged and very involved. We need you to continue to strive for success and empowerment for minorities in the energy sector, for farmers that are the backbone truly of our rural America, for entrepreneurs and the way of life, the blood of our economy. We are relying on you and your partners to ensure our nation's future prosperity and competitiveness. I salute you in your devotion and service and making a difference. And I encourage you to do this so with pride, passion, and purpose as Americans. Thank you so very much for this great opportunity, and Godspeed.
Director Campos, thank you so much for the delivery of that very powerful, informative presentation on the Department of Energy, its relationship to our national security. Everyone knows by way of their own life's experience that without power, it's dark. Without food, you go hungry. And without education, you can't appreciate the kinds of things that we are all an ambassador and activist for, which is to advance innovation and the desire to transform where we've been into the 21st century so we can all be a part of what works. We thank the ED, Economic Office of Impact and Diversity, for making the kinds of commitments to the extent that you've expanded into departments that include Office of Education, Office of the Workforce Development, because you recognize that our workforce and the future of work requires everyone to have the ability to understand technology, to appreciate science, to engage in the process of research, even if it's an idea that it gets explored on the Internet of Things, to where a new and greater discovery of information can bring about a team, a group of individuals who become destined for accomplishing and achieving and solving society's problems. We are truly living in a time where the leadership that you just spoke about relative to this agency and the department, the partnerships you have with Minority Business Development Agency, and the recognition that your scientists at the 17 federal labs around the country also understand that they need new stakeholders at their tables, which is the Black and brown farmers. We are thankful for the ability to have a public policy that can be continued to be evolved into something that works perfectly to restore our distressed communities under the umbrella of opportunity zones, where developers and investors engage in participating with the most diverse, most youthful, most energetic and inspiring and hopeful people of all walks of life, so that we can rebuild these abandoned, distressed, sometimes even broken down communities, and their social infrastructure, their education infrastructure. And we really thank you for continuing to lead a march with our HBCUs, our minority serving institutions, and our Hispanic serving institutions. And we do look forward to your department's continued support as we are become tremendously bullish, intentional, deliberate about our goals and objectives to advance what works in America. Well, once again, Director Campos, we thank you for the full participation of your team. We thank you for working with the MBDA, your commitment to working with USDA, and we'll be, after probably a day of debriefing and figuring out what we truly have accomplished here, look forward to the phone calls and the meetings following. Again, thank you.
Keith, thank you so very much. It's a true honor, and I look forward to our future collaborations.
Amen.